Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, let me introduce myself. My name is Eva Putri Asriningtyas. My student number is 226121154. I'm from 4E class and my major is English Language Department. So in this video, I'm gonna explain 5 topics from LLA course or Learning Language Assessment. So I put 5 topics in this video. There is a first one is tools of evaluation, the second is Bloom's taxonomy, the third is based on the number of participants, the fourth is evaluate in terms of its usefulness in measuring of student, and the last is item analysis. So I will explain that 5 topics in this video. So let's get started. Okay, the first material is tools of evaluation. I'm gonna explain what is tools of evaluation. In a general sense, a tool is something that can be used to make it easier for someone to carry out a task or achieve a goal more effectively and efficiently. The word tools can also be called an instrument. Thus, the evaluation tools is also known as the evaluation instrument. Okay, there's 2 types for the tools of evaluation. The first one is non-test techniques and the second is test techniques. Okay, the first one is non-test techniques. It have some kinds. The first one is rating scale. Scale describe a value in the form of a number to something that the result of consideration. So it shows the value scale that has been considered. And the next is questionnaire. A questionnaire is a list of questions that must be filled in by the respondent. So respondents will be asked several questions and then respondents must be fill in or answer them all. Next is checklist. A checklist is a series of questions where the respondent being evaluated only adds a mark. Okay, this is as simple as marking the select answer. Next is interview. Interview is a method used to obtain answers from respondents with one-sided question and answer. So it is done directly by both parties. Next is observation. The observation is a technique conducted by carefully conducting observation and systematically recording them. Usually refers to an object to be observed in a depth. Next is biography. By studying someone's life history, evaluation can draw conclusion about their personality and other aspects. Okay, the second is a test techniques. The first one is pre-test. A pre-test is a test conducted by a teacher to initiate a specific topic or a basic competency, usually done at the beginning of a learning. The aim is to obtain initial competency parameters, how much a student know about the learning material. This next is diagnostic test. A diagnostic test is a test used to determine a student's strengths and weaknesses when learning something. There are 2 main functions of diagnostic tests, namely helping to identify problems or difficulties experienced by students and a planning follow-up action in the form of a solution efforts according to the problems or errors that have been identified. Next is prerequisite test. A test conducted by a teacher to assess students' mastery of the material. Next is formative test. Formative assessment is a test used to gauge the extent to which students are forming their understanding of a particular program. The aim is as a basis for improving teaching and learning productivity. An example is a test carried out after discussing each chapter or KD or BC, basic competency. Okay, next is summative test. Summative assessment is used after the completion of instruction or a larger group to evaluate learning outcomes. The aim is to determine the result achieved by students in a particular program in the form of student success status at the end of each educational and teaching program. An example is the final exam. Okay, the second topic is Bloom's taxonomy. What is that? It's a psychologist theories or frameworks or conceptual models built by psychologists to explain, predict, and understand various aspects of a human behavior and mental processes. Psychological theories can cover various domains of psychology such as development, personality, motivation, cognition, emotion, and social interaction. There are several kinds. The first one is remember. It's a recognizing and recalling fact. The second is understanding what the fact mean, the meaning. The third is applying the fact, rules, concept, and ideas. The fourth is analyze, breaking down the information into a component part. The fifth is evaluate, judging the value of information or the ideas. The sixth is create, combining parts to make a new whole. Okay, the next topic. The third is based on the number of participants. Have two kinds. The first one is the individual test. What is individual test? These are a type of assessment that is carried out one-on-one between the examiner and the test taker. These tests are designed to assess participants' specific abilities, skills, or knowledge in a more personalized and a focused setting. In an educational context, individual tests are often used to assess cognitive abilities, academic achievement, or language competency, as well as psychological or diagnostic evaluation. There also have a strength and weakness. The strength is personalization, and then diagnostic accuracy, and time and place flexibility. So we can know about the personalized that the student, and then so we can have a accuracy that diagnostic test, and then the strength is the time, and a place is a flexibility. Okay, about the weaknesses. The weaknesses from this test is a lack of collaborative skill development, and then tendency toward memory, the next is best measures rather than deep understanding. So maybe that's not too much but collaborative, because this is individual task. Student can develop the skills, and then students just have a tendency towards memory. And then the example of individual test is a listening comprehension. So student can listen and understand that the conversation. Okay, the second is group test. Group testing is a type of assessment in which a group of a student is assessed together in one assessment session or activity. In a group test, students work together or collaborate in completing assessment or answering question given. Is help as each other. So the strength is improve communication, and then measure collaborative abilities and practice cooperation. So make student more talkative, that the communication improve their speaking, and then make a cooperation with each other from the student. So weaknesses this test is a domination influence, and then contribution inequality, and then errors in individual assessment. In the example from the group test is a presentation text. Okay, next, the fourth topic is evaluate in terms of its usefulness in measuring students. So this is have some kinds. The first one is diagnostic test. Diagnostic tests are evaluation tools used before the start of learning to evaluate students' initial understanding of the material to be studied. The goal is to help teachers understand students' initial knowledge and skill levels, and determine their individual learning needs. So the strength is provide initial information, and then learning adjustment, and then identify deficiencies. If the rules of the learning is not matched with the students, it can be fixed after that. And then the teacher can know deep the students what the method will be delivered, and what the kind of learning will be delivered, and so on. Weakness is not measuring progress over time, and then is limitation in a comprehensive overview. The example is a pretest before starting the learning unit. Okay, next is a formative test. This is a group testing, is a type of assessment in which group of a student is assessed together in one assessment session or activity. In a group test, students work together or collaborate in a completing a statement or answering a question given. The strength is fast feedback, and then instruction adjustment, and then encourage active learning. So what is a fast feedback? Because they're a group, so we can ask each other for the student, so we get a fast feedback from there. Okay, about weaknesses, the first is additional time for administration and then a specific focus. So example, the task is maybe daily quizzes and a group discussion that are evaluated directly. So the last is summative test. What is a summative test? Summative test summative tests are evaluation tools used at the end of learning period to evaluate students' final achievements. The aim is to provide an overview of how well students have understood the material being taught. So the strength is a comprehensive assessment, and then a final achievement overview, and then evaluation best. Okay, the weaknesses is does not provide immediate feedback and then make us anxiety. So there's no remedial or the feedback from the teacher because that's the final exam, and then maybe the students have anxiety from the assessment is good or not good. In the example test I have told before, is a final exam. Okay, let's go to the last topic, is item analysis. Ari Kundal states that question analysis is a systematic procedure which will provide a very specific information regarding the test items that we prepare. It's the act of analyzing responses to individual test question or items to make sure that their difficulty level is appropriate. There are too many methods for conducting analysis. Is qualitative analysis, also known as a qualitative control, and quantitative analysis, also known as quantitative control. Logical validity, a term used frequently to describe qualitative analysis, is the process of determining if a question is functioning or not before it is used. The process of determining whether a question is more functional or not through quantitative question analysis, also known as empirical validity, is followed by testing the question on a representative sample. So why do we need item analysis? The item analysis helps teachers examine assessment and figure out if they are a good measure for testing their student. For example, if a test is too difficult or too easy for a group of students, then administrating the assessment is a waste of time and doesn't aid us in the measurement of student learning. So that's it, the 5 topics from learning language assessment course. From me, I think it's enough for explaining the topic. So thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.